Empowering your financial journey. I read over 100 wealth-building books to learn these 5 lessons. Hello, friends. I spent the last 30 years reading through 1,500 nonfiction books. Over 100 of these books were about wealth building. From Napoleon Hill's classic Think and Grow Rich to Morgan Housel's modern masterpiece, The Psychology of Money, I consumed a wide range of materials, including financial fiction set in ancient Babylon, parables, and cutting-edge behavioral finance research. What surprised me most wasn't the differences between these books, but how consistently the same core principles appeared across different decades, authors, and approaches. Whether written in 1926 or 2024, the fundamental truths about building wealth remain unchanged. Here are the 5 lessons that kept appearing in book after book. 1. Pay yourself first, not last. The single most repeated principle across nearly every wealth-building book is deceptively simple. Pay yourself first before paying anyone else. George Clason introduced this concept in The Richest Man in Babylon in 1926, and it remains the foundation of wealth building today. The typical approach is to earn a paycheck, pay all the bills, buy what you need, enjoy some entertainment, and then save whatever's left over. The problem? There's rarely anything left over. Wealthy people flip this script entirely. They take a percentage of every dollar they earn and immediately move it into savings and investments before that money can be spent on anything else. Ramit Sethi modernizes this concept in I Will Teach You to Be Rich by showing how to automate the entire process. Set up automatic transfers on payday that move money into investment accounts before you even see it. This removes willpower from the equation entirely. The psychology behind this lesson is crucial. When you pay yourself last, you're telling yourself that your future financial security is less important than your current spending. When you pay yourself first, you're making your financial freedom the priority. The terminology may vary across different books, but the principle remains constant because it works. 2. Real wealth is invisible. Thomas Stanley and William Danko's research in The Millionaire Next Door revealed something that contradicts everything we see on social media. Most millionaires don't look like millionaires. They drive ordinary cars, live in modest homes, and wear regular clothes. The research showed that people who appear wealthy often aren't. They are often deeply in debt, while those who are wealthy rarely display it. This lesson cuts deep into American consumer culture. We're conditioned to believe that success means displaying status symbols, a luxury car, designer clothes, and an impressive home signal that you've made it. But Stanley and Danko found that under-accumulators of wealth spend far more on these visible displays than actual wealthy people do. The millionaires studied spent their money on appreciating assets rather than depreciating status symbols. This principle appears across multiple books. Clayson's Ancient Babylonian Wisdom cautions against spending more than you earn due to lifestyle inflation. Dave Ramsey's The Total Money Makeover emphasizes living below your means as a non-negotiable principle. The consistent message is that every dollar spent on impressing others is a dollar that can't compound and grow. Real wealth accumulates quietly in investment accounts, not loudly in driveways. 3. Index funds beat almost everything. John Bogle revolutionized investing when he founded Vanguard and introduced index funds to everyday investors. His book, The Little Book of Common Sense Investing, makes a compelling case that's echoed throughout the wealth-building literature. You can't reliably beat the market, and you don't need to. Burton Malkiel's A Random Walk Down Wall Street supports this with decades of data showing that passive index investing outperforms most active fund managers over time. Benjamin Graham's The Intelligent Investor teaches value investing principles, but even Graham emphasized that most investors are better off with a simple, diversified approach. J.L. Collins takes this further in The Simple Path to Wealth, arguing that a single total stock market index fund provides everything most people need for wealth building. This principle matters because complexity does not necessarily equal better returns. The financial industry profits from making investing seem complicated and mysterious, requiring expert guidance and sophisticated strategies. But the research consistently shows that low-cost index funds that track broad market returns beat the vast majority of actively managed alternatives. The wealthy understand that investing doesn't need to be exciting or complicated to be effective. 4. Your money mindset determines your results. Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich introduced the concept that thoughts shape outcomes, a theme that appears throughout wealth-building literature in various forms. Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money examines how emotions and behavior are more significant than intelligence in achieving financial success. T. Harv Eker's Secrets of the Millionaire Mind argues that we all have unconscious money blueprints that determine our financial outcomes. This lesson challenges fundamental middle-class assumptions about money. If you grew up hearing that money doesn't grow on trees or rich people are greedy, those beliefs shape your relationship with wealth. Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad contrasts two distinct mindsets. One that views money as a means to exchange for security, and another that sees it as a tool for building freedom. Wallace Wattles took this concept to its extreme in The Science of Getting Rich, arguing that wealth begins entirely with how you think about money. While some of these books venture into questionable territory about attraction and manifestation, the core truth remains solid. Your beliefs about money influence your decisions, and your choices determine your financial outcomes. 5. Assets work, income doesn't scale. The distinction between working for money and having money work for you appears in almost every wealth-building book, but Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad explains it most clearly. Income from a job is limited by time and energy. Assets generate returns regardless of whether you're working. This fundamental difference separates those who build lasting wealth from those who stay trapped in the income-for-time exchange. Clayson's The Richest Man in Babylon teaches readers how to make their money work for them through wise investments. Stanley and Danko found that millionaires focus relentlessly on accumulating appreciating assets rather than increasing their lifestyle spending. The wealthy understand that every dollar invested becomes a worker that generates additional dollars, creating a compounding effect that accelerates over time. This lesson challenges the middle-class assumption that earning a higher salary is the path to wealth. A six-figure income spent on lifestyle inflation creates zero wealth. A modest income, combined with disciplined investing, builds lasting financial freedom. The books consistently emphasize that wealth isn't about how much you earn, but about how much you keep and how hard you make those kept dollars work. After reading 20 wealth-building books spanning nearly a century, the consistency of these 5 lessons proves they represent timeless truths rather than temporary strategies. Pay yourself first through automation. Build real wealth invisibly while others chase status symbols. Invest passively in low-cost index funds instead of chasing performance. Fix your money mindset before expecting different financial results. Focus on accumulating assets that generate returns rather than just earning more income. These principles were effective in 1926. They remain effective today, and they will continue to be effective decades from now. The question isn't whether these lessons are proper, but whether you'll apply them consistently enough to transform your financial future.